go right into our next session. We're up on top of it, our second advanced breakout session now. We're going to shine a light on the knowledge-aware approach to design and peer reviews with Auros Knowledge Systems' very own JoBeth Dingman. Come on up.
All right, thank you everybody for joining this presentation on a knowledge-aware approach to design reviews. And that's me. All right, in this conversation, I'd like to talk to you about why design reviews are important. You all know it. I'm sure that you perform them or have been a part of them, probably most of you in this room. We're also going to talk about why design reviews have particular challenges and pitfalls that they face. And I'm going to talk to you about a maturity model that you can take your design review process, if it's more of an ad hoc style, and progress it towards a more continuous knowledge-aware approach, and then the wins you will receive in doing so. So you all know that design reviews are important. Clearly, I'm going to highlight a few reasons why. So in particular, we need quality assurance, because quality is great. And by systematically assigning your design early in the process, and often, you're more likely to find the potential issues or errors, catch them, and save down the road expense, time, rework, and reputation. So in that also, we're identifying the risks in your process and product early, mitigate them, and prevent reoccurrence. Of course, we need to collaborate between your whole team. You have a lot of experts with you in different departments and different disciplines, and we need their collaboration and their knowledge and put it to work. Many of you may work in an industry with regulatory restrictions, guidelines, standards that you must comply with. By reviewing these regulations in a design review approach, you can ensure that you can reduce the risk of legal or regulatory issues to these. And documentation and traceability. Design reviews are very important, and as you progress your design through the process, make decisions and changes, you need to capture when and why and how and what happened. Especially for those of you that work in those industries with the special regulations, including safety control. And you need stakeholder buy-in. Yes, stakeholder buy-in. By having a good design approach, you'll give your stakeholders, clients, customers more confidence in your design and your peers. So you'll gain confidence with a well-design reviewed product and process. So as they are so important, there's also common challenges and pitfalls that occur in the design review process. One of which being it's very manual, especially for the engineers that have to spend time looking for the procedures, looking for the standards, where do I find my work, collecting feedback from their managers, providing status and feedback back to their managers, making presentations, did they find the right knowledge? So it's a lot of manual work when we'd really prefer that our product engineers are creating good products and making good parts. So the documentation and traceability is also a challenge, although it's also a value. As those engineers are running around, did they find the right documents? Are they at the right versions? Is it the trusted knowledge source? Can they find it? And then all this hard work that they've done, can their peers find it? Can their manager find it? Can you find it for audit traceability, or if the customer asks, what did you do? So that traceability in history is very important and sometimes difficult to capture. Also missed content. So the value that a design review can have is very important on the discretion of the participants. So did the design review engineer invite the right participants? If they did invite the right participants, did they show up? And if they showed up, are they paying attention, or are they looking at their phone, or talking amongst themselves, or dealing with another crisis? And even if they are engaged and in attendance, did they discuss the right topics? So did they bring the right, did they address everything, or did they just kind of focus on what was the hot topic of the day? So you don't want to miss content and important features. So I'm going to also show a maturity model from a design review process from a discrete event towards a continuous. This is going to be a lot of words, but the presentation will be made available as well, and I'm just going to highlight a few features from each. So you might find yourself currently in an ad hoc design review approach where it's not on a cadence and it's not evaluated continuously. It likely happened when you had a problem, so it drove you to review where you're at. Maybe a step forward is meeting-centric approach, where here you have a cross-functional team. Maybe you're meeting on a slight cadence, but it's still very manual, and it's relying on the proficiency of the people in attendance. If you progress that towards having a meeting-centric approach with a structured agenda, this is great. You're meeting on a cadence, you're controlling you are working to a checklist. Maybe it's not controlled or the greatest or latest. You can provide some look across, but it's very manual intensive. And ideally, perfect best world, you're knowledge aware, which is cross-functional, dynamically provisioned knowledge right to the user, evaluated continuously through your project. In some cases, that knowledge is even delivered automatically to the user within their appropriate context. And through this continuous evaluation, you have real-time reporting, insights, possibilities for analytics, and you know you're evaluating the right knowledge. It's the gold source, it's trusted, it's actionable, it's granular, and it's just beautiful. So now that I've convinced you that you'd like to approach towards a knowledge-aware design review approach, I'm going to show you demonstrations of what it could look like potentially in an Auros management knowledge software called Auros. So here I'm illustrating a methodology KPAC, which I'm depicting a 5-gate stage process. And if you don't have stages in your process, that's okay. The main principles can apply elsewhere. So to set some context, I am doing a design review for my 2024 Buzz Cup, and as you can see, I've completed the first 2 gates, and it's on time for me to kick off my 3rd gate, which is the design validation. So in order to do a good design review at my phase gate 3, I cannot work in a vacuum. I need to pull in knowledge from all of my peers and collaborators. So to do so, and to facilitate this work, I'm going to create an assessment control. And in this assessment control, I'm going to ask my peers and experts from manufacturing engineering, the operations team, quality team, and I'm going to gather those lessons learned across my departments and disciplines all across my organization, or whatever other areas you need to do your work in your process. So all of this knowledge is going to pull in from my peers and automatically deliver to me when I'm ready for them. And this is what it might look like as an assessment control. So in Auros, to set some context, I'm doing a design review for my 2024 Buzz Cup in Gate 3. And you can see here that I've been provisioned a handful of knowledge in the different departments, requirements, and types. So it was told to me automatically what I needed to do. And you'll see that there's my standards or procedures or best practices, lessons learned. I'm going to dive in a little bit more and show you more about the lessons learned in particular, especially following Jasmine's presentation. So you might not be able to read this, but I'm highlighting a few of the lessons that were delivered to me automatically. So all of you, I think, were in this last presentation. You saw this lessons learned 10 on the humidity of the weld. So this came to me, if I look a little closer, because Auros recognized where I was at in my process. It took the context that I was evaluating an acrylic tumbler at Gate 3. So it knew what I needed to do and delivered it right to me. So as I have all my knowledge delivered to me and I'm performing my work, sometimes you just don't meet expectations or you've identified a risk. And that can be quite scary and you might not know what to do, especially if you're an entry-level engineer or new to the project or product. And so you might get a little terrified, what do I do? Oh no, I didn't quite meet my requirement. So I'm going to highlight here, this is a mold draft angle minimum requirement that I did not meet. And so I'm a little bit terrified, and what do I do? And using Auros as a knowledge management software tool, it has a feature called Look Across. So if I click these cute little binocular icons, I am presented to me look across knowledge of how have my peers evaluated this before and how did they handle this problem or process. So a look across will give me the latest assessments reviewed to that knowledge and provide me the context, and I can configure this look to what I need. Maybe I want to filter for a particular customer or how a particular coworker did solve it. So I can kind of refine what criteria is presented to me. And then I can look deep of who maybe did not meet this requirement and what did they do to solve their issues. Maybe they added extra control plans. Maybe they did further validation testing to prove that the risk is reduced. So I can look across to see how my peers have solved this issue before. Another way this tool could be used as the look across is if I am a knowledge author or a subject matter expert, or even a process architect, I could review how we are doing to our knowledge. If we're overachieving or if we're underachieving, maybe we could refine our specs, tighten them or loosen them. So we can look historically at how we are assessing this knowledge and behaving and modify from there and learn continuously through our process. So we've also talked about one of the important parts and also a challenge of design reviews is getting sign-off and traceability. So to stick with this risk of me not meeting my draft angle, so in Auros it's capturing the history that I did not meet it through my parameters entered, but I can give an explanation as to why. I can provide background information, what I tried, why I feel risk is reduced, or what I feel next steps should be. And I can provide evidence such as attachments. Perhaps I got deviation approval from my customer. I can attach it to this line item. Or maybe I did extra validation testing and I show that the risk is reduced. And another option of this sign-off and traceability is also approvals. So through Auros, I can facilitate the approval through my chief engineer or whoever makes the decisions that we are okay to proceed. So they're made aware of the risks and they're signing off that they are okay to proceed with this risk. So as design reviews are very important, their visibility is critical. So as many people are going to want to have eyes on this project, possibly project management or sales, quality, upper management, or your peers, they want to see how your project is coming along. In Auros, we can have a tool that is collaborative workspace such as Auros team boards. So as the work is getting compiled and completed, it's visible real time and available to anyone to see the risks, create the plan, and work to closure. So I'm going to highlight a little bit of functionality of a team board for my 2024 Buzz Cup. So you can build in reporting that is live and actionable and shareable to all of your team and also accessible. I've captured at least here like a suggestion of an assessment line item report where I'm pulling in any non-conforming items that I feel are of risk and presenting for the team to review. And alternately, you can also create reports on issues, which issues are open, what's their priority, what's their status, work them to closure, and increase visibility. So then we can all be aware, and it helps the engineer manage their work as well. Another tool through the Auros team boards to manage the design review process are the issues and assessments walls. So again, as work is done, they're displayed and automatically provisioned into this feature called a team board, and they're displayed in a Kanban style, which is meant to increase focus, transparency, and completion and collaboration within your team. So if we follow a design review approach in your knowledge aware approach, everybody wins and everybody's happy. So the engineer, sorry about that formatting, their knowledge is delivered to them, ready for reuse. They have built-in tools to manage their workload. What do I need from my teammate? Do I need new analysis? Do I need new design work? They can manage that action items right within Auros through assessment controls or issues. It eliminates a lot of their preparation and reporting tasks, and communication as well. So it's all there visible and available for the entire team, which helps them build better designs. As a stakeholder and expert, I am not just writing procedures or design guides that no one's going to read, or I'm not sure that it'll be applied appropriately. I can write my best knowledge and have it be applied. And I can author it exactly the way that I want it applied, which could help reduce the rework of designs. And then I'm more communicating what I want done instead of just documenting it somewhere else. And we all want our executives to sleep better at night so that they can know your designs are reviewed thoroughly and airtight prevention and prevent reoccurring mistakes. And we want improved efficiency of process and better products. And we want to get more out of all of our employees and increase their performance as they're told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it as well. And we can be assured that nothing is missed. So that is all that I had presented here. And I expect also some good hard questions like Jasmine had. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay.
We do have one online now that I know where to look for them.
Oh, can I set a timeline or due dates for design reviews? Absolutely, thank you. So, yes, timing can be set in multiple ways in Auros. That first picture that I depicted of the stage gate process had little flags, and you can set those flags or timing. Basically, you can set a due date or a checkpoint timing. It could be based on project timing or add a cadence, or there's a multiple set of ways that you can assign this timing. And I didn't show in reports, but you can also build reports on that timing. So how many gates are late for a project or for a whole customer? If I want to look across to all of my customer X projects where we are timing, or all at this localization site or manufacturing site. So you can pull together the Gantt charts. Auros has Gantt chart functionality right within the assessment control and built into the team board. So a Gantt chart is automatically populated on the team board through project timing and the master assessment timing, which might be a lot of words if you guys aren't as familiar, but there's definitely ways to manage timing, and you can even create some ad hoc timing on the team board function with some minor dependency capabilities also. So you can make some basic dependent tasks within your project milestone dates if you want to track them as well.
Perfect, thank you so much. Yes, we have a question. Mike is coming to you now. Tyler is bringing it on over.
We see value in reports from the design review. When we create the team boards, right, we try to populate everything up front, even that the reports are empty, right? We struggle a little bit to have the issue reporting chart because we don't have an issue. Oh. Is it something that we do wrong, or it's a workaround that you can create this template right at the beginning, right, even when you don't have the issues? The other reports are coming fine.
I know that some reports you do need that base functionality to exist, like you need an approval ready report assessment to be present to create that as part of your search criteria. Sometimes I have created dummy issues or a dummy asset to get the report kicked off, and then I delete or archive that asset. It's probably not the best plan forward, but I have done that in cases. So if you can't make a report, possibly you could create some dummy structure and then backfill it, is one idea.
Okay, thank you. It's a good workaround.
And I also agree that that capability would be very useful in the future to not have to do that.
I asked my question online, but how often do you meet in person versus online when you have your design reviews?
Oh, well, I guess that's up to the company, and in person if it's a global design review. So
speaking about your own team, Auros.
Oh, design reviews for the software release?
Yeah, I mean, when you do those things, yeah. Do you tend to get together once in a while? Is it 10% of the time, 90% of the time? I mean, just an idea.
That's a good question. I'm not a part of the software release process and development of our product per se. But I know we are developing tools. Like auditing our workflows internally and our customer workflows. So we're developing auditing tools. We don't have a set cadence, but I guess I cannot speak to that.
Weekly, right? I mean, we have our weekly touch points for every customer, which we run of all of our projects through Auros.
Yes, we have customer health evaluations that we do quarterly. It's not quite a design review, it's a customer implementation review. So we meet weekly on each workflow and weekly on each customer with our knowledge-aware consultant, and cross collaboration between our development partner and our Auros consultant and the application engineer. So we meet on a weekly cadence and evaluate the health of our application each quarter.
So Tim, thanks for that. I didn't see your question under this session and ask a question, so I'm glad you spoke up. I'm wondering if that has happened with anyone else in this session. If so, if you wouldn't mind just raising your hand so we can make sure we cover it. Just saw the one for the session online. Okay, all right. Any others? Otherwise, you'll get an extended break before our final advanced breakout session. Okay, looks like going once, going twice. All right, well, thank you so much, JoBeth.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you, everybody.